What up, Greater Long Beach? Welcome back to your home for everything local sports. It's JJ.
And Mike. This video is brought to you by Naples Rib Company, the perfect place to cater your team's next event.
The first high school football commentary video that we did this year was Mike and I discussing why Mater Dei was ranked above St. John Bosco in the preseason polls. Well, guess what? We get to figure out that exact question this weekend because it's ship time. Saturday, Cerritos College, St. John Bosco, Mater Dei, Division I CIF Southern Section Championship. I mean, if Mater Dei wins this thing, they're the national champions. And if Bosco wins this thing, I don't think anybody should call that an upset.
You say it answers the question. I might say it makes your point in that video 3 months ago of why these rankings are so irrelevant, because we know we're going to get this game anyways. It's the 8th time in 5 seasons that Bosco is meeting Mater Dei. It's the 3rd time they're meeting for the championship, 2013, then last year, and now this year. Bosco 2-0 against Mater Dei in championships, but in their last 4 meetings, they're 2-2 against each other, with Bosco having 126 points to Mater Dei's 106. This has been the rivalry in Southern California football over the last 5 years, and I'm very excited that it's going to be played for the championship.
It's also incredible how similar these two Bosco seasons have been. Last year, Bosco loses to a top-ranked team in the nation in the preseason. They then lose to Mater Dei in the Trinity League season. They then run roughshod over the entire playoffs before taking care of Corona Centennial in an exciting semifinal, and then Mater Dei in the CIF Southern sections before beating De La Salle in the state final. This year, the exact same thing.
The differences are Mater Dei certainly went out and upgraded, particularly in their front 7 defensively. You are not going to see Bosco run the ball for 6.3 yards per carry in this game as you did in the championship last year. What you are going to see from Bosco, if you're looking for positive changes, is the quarterback, DJ Unguilele, the super sophomore, has really unlocked the passing game, and they are a much more downfield strike-oriented offense, which is obviously exciting, and I also think necessary when you're playing a team that can score as much as Mater Dei. The other thing that's changed is the location. We're not going to be at Angel Stadium deep behind the orange curtain. We are going to be at Cerritos College, which has served in years past as a home field for Bosco, and where they hosted last week's semifinal win over Corona Centennial. This is not technically a home game for Bosco. They are technically the visitor. They will be in the other locker room and on the other sideline. The CIF just contracted with Cerritos College to have Falcon Stadium host the Division I championship because Angel Stadium's unavailable, and that just so happened to work out very nicely for the Braves. We've heard from plenty of Monarchs fans on Twitter who are not happy about that, but look, Bosco, Poly, all these teams have been driving to Anaheim for the CIF championship for the last however many years. You guys can come out of Orange County one time, you'll be okay.
Statistically, you just mentioned those guys. DJ Unguilele is just putting up crazy numbers. He's completing 65% of his attempts, averaging almost 250 yards per game, 29 touchdowns, and most impressively, only 2 interceptions for the sophomore quarterback. On the other end, JT Daniels, just as impressive. Over 3,500 yards passing, 72% completion, 44 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions.
Yeah, he's pretty good. We're definitely looking at, the top quarterback in the junior class and the top quarterback in the sophomore class as far as I'm concerned. Both guys can do it all. You're going to see both of them make huge, crazy passes. You're going to see both of them run the ball. You certainly don't want to fall into the old, boring media stereotype of whichever one of these guys plays better is going to win the game, because they do have so many other things going for them. But they're both also going up against top secondaries, and so that's what excites me. Is this is really, it really is almost a college game. You have college receivers, college defensive backs, and the receivers are trying to catch it from college quarterbacks. So.
And when you're playing at that next level, the third facet comes into play more often than not. Special teams is going to be massive on Saturday, I think, because you look at the last 2 regular season games. Mater Dei won those. In both of those games, Amon-Ra St. Brown had a punt return for a touchdown. In the championship game, both of them, Mater Dei did not execute on special teams. St. John Bosco's had a problem, so if they kind of stay out of their own way, they can kind of get played into this game by a few Monarch mistakes.
It's going to be interesting. I do think one thing I really want to mention is penalties. Both of these teams have piled up the penalties in this postseason. Mater Dei, I don't think I'd ever seen this. When they steamrolled over Poly in the quarterfinals, they actually had 60 yards more in penalties than the Jackrabbits, and you don't see that very often. So both of them, they do play fast, they do play loose, and they do pick up yellow flags from time to time. So I do think that could end up being a pretty big storyline in this game.
Championship game. two teams who like to throw the ball. Lots of penalties. It's going to be on TV. We could be at Cerritos College for quite some time.
This might be the championship weekend, not championship week. We might be there till Sunday for sure.
Thanks as always to all of our sponsors, including Papalucci's, a great place to eat on 2nd Street. We've got the features, the video previews, and everything else you want to know about this game. And after the game, make sure you come back to the website for those video highlights.